Well, now, this is the reality. Stop saving money in 2024. Okay, why 2024? Simply what I mean is that stop saving money in this 21st century that you're living in. Okay, fine. I know you've been living in an era whereby you've been told, hey, go ahead, save money, make sure that you save and save and save and save and save. Fine. Listen, let me tell you one secret. We only save for three purposes, okay? Only if you're not saving for either of these purposes, don't even save your money. Just eat all of it, okay? Number one, we either save our money because we want to buy something. We want to buy something. Two, we want to save money because we want to invest, all right? Or three, we want to save money because it's for the what? For the emergency fund. Either of those three reasons, that's why we save the money. Reason why I'm telling you, stop saving money. At the end of the day, we do not have any record of somebody who become wealthy by the virtue of saving money. That is not the whole aspect, okay? And the problem is this: when you save money without a purpose, or when you do not attach a purpose onto that money that you are saving, it's actually almost what we call the idle money. And you know the consequences of having some idle money in a bank. That idle money can be taken any moment you want to take it. For example, someone calls you and tells you, hey, you know what? I have a problem. I'm on a cash crunch. Would you kindly, lend me or something of sort? And again, you check like, okay, fine. I do have some coins with me in the bank. Then just go rush, get that money and help this individual. There is nothing wrong with helping individual. But the point is this: reason why you've accessed that money, it is because your money is quote unquote idle. It is not committed. Why? Because it's just saved. I know we borrowed this idea from, say, our grandparents or parents or whoever we borrowed from, and this issue of save, 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 and save. No, we do not just save. We save for the purposes of investment. And this era 2024, we don't save money. What do? We invest immediately. Well, you know why? Back then in ages when people used to save money, they were saving for the purposes of accumulating it and investing in future. Some of them, that is, not all of them. Now, the problem was this, or the reason why they used to do that is this: because there were no many avenues of them investing. Do you know even today you can even invest as low as 100 Kenyan shillings? As low as 100 Kenyan shillings. Can you imagine? This is less than $1. This is less than $1. Can you imagine that? You can invest as low as this amount of money. So you're telling me that you're investing, or rather you're saving your money, does not make any sense out of it. Because right now, for example, in Kenya, we are experiencing an inflation of around 7%. Let me just call it 7%. So people are calling it 7 point something, 6 point something or something. It is 7% if you check it on the official website of the Central Bank of Kenya. So imagine now, do you know what this means? It means that your money is losing 7% of its purchasing power. All right. And I bet by now, if you've been watching my videos, you already know what I mean by the inflation. I really hate this thing, okay? Because in Kenya, we say when we have an inflation of around 3.2 to 4.2, we are okay. But now, guess where we are? We are 7.6, 7%. Well, like there's some of the countries that actually they have over 60, 30, 50% in terms of the inflation, meaning that their money is losing 50% of its purchasing power. That's quite outrageous. So this is the point. See, the way these wise people, as far as the investments are concerned, they not just save their money. What they do is that they go ahead and invest their money. And you can pick variety of investments method. I'm not gonna go ahead and echo all those areas where you can be able to invest your money, because I have been talking about those things for like ages and ages. But if you've been watching me, or maybe it's your first time watching me, and you do not know those areas or avenues where you can just save your money immediately. For example, when I talk about you can invest as low as 100 bob, go ahead and you can pick something like an MMF and you pick your money there. I mean, you invest your money there, and it's a thing that actually, by the way, you people actually will be like, okay, fine, why do you Joseph talk about money market fund? What is it amazing about it? It's amazing in the sense that you usually get the money, the profit from an MMF is actually credited. It's credited daily. Like each and every day you see your money increasing, increasing the profit that you're earning from that specific MMF. Now, the thing is this, you see, it's credited daily and payable monthly. Meaning each and every month you actually each and every month you get your what? You get your payment, you get your interest. And that's quite an amazing thing. Okay, fine, I know one thing: unless you take a lot of time for you to actually accumulate and make a huge amount of money, talk of 4, 5, 6 all the way to 10 or even 20 years, that time you realize like a huge amount of money kicking in. But what I can say is this: say maybe you would like to get into the business, and maybe per month you can manage to set aside something like 4,000, 4,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 10,000, depends on what you can. And maybe your target is to get like a half a mil, maybe your target is to get like a half a mil for the purposes of business, but you do not like these things to do with, investments. It's not a language that you love, but this is what you're targeting, maybe a 500 mil, a half a mil, so that at least at the end of the day, you can be able to get into the business. Now, instead of getting this money lying idle in a bank, why don't you take that money, channel in such avenues? This money should be making you money as we speak. I understand it's not a lot, but it's way better compared to it just lying in an idle in a bank. That's how you do it. Now, what happens is that these money market funds, or maybe other avenues of investments, depends on the one that you pick. You can actually access the money anytime you want. For example, MMF, you can access your money anytime you want. Say maybe, hey, you've actually hit your target of 500 Gs and you would like to withdraw that money. You go ahead and withdraw your money and go and invest out there. You know why? I'm going to repeat this point. Nobody has ever become wealthy or rich by virtue of you investing, or rather by virtue of you saving your money. What I can advise you to do is take that money and go and do what? And invest it instead of saving it. But this is the disclaimer I'm going to give on this particular area. See, when we say don't save money, we don't mean like you do not have to have a budget and set aside some money. No, what we mean, or what I mean, is this: have that budget that you have, that you're following, to make sure that you salvage the difference between your income and your expenses, because anyway, at the end of the day, we cannot talk about savings if we do not talk about management, because savings is as a result of management. You see, you have to know how to manage, and the only way you can manage your money is to have something called the budget. And the budget is actually that helps you to know what is coming in, that is your income. I do not have any problem with people knowing what they make per month, day, or week. And that's what we call the expenses. And now what brings the difference between the two, the income and the expenses? What is the difference here is what we call the savings, or savable amount of money. That's what we get. Why? For example, you're making 40 and your expenses are at 30. So you have 10. 10 is what we call is the savable amount of money, is what brings a difference, because all the expenses that you have, guess what they are? They are just sustainables. They are just sustainables, okay? Sustainables in the sense that they do not help you in any way to grow. Just because you eat, you dress, you pay your house rent, and you do all those things does not grow you, does not help you to grow, does not cater for your old age. That is just a sustainable. Now, the 10,000 now that is remaining after doing all these expenses is what now we call the development, okay? Development. Now, this development is what brings a difference between person A and B. For example, see, when you set aside this 10K at the end of the month, and then continuously you do so, say for 2 or 3 or 4 years, you start a business or something of sort. Now you can go ahead and buy a property, build some rentals out there, you rent them out. Now you're being from a different individual from the other individual. That is exactly what you do. So in life, what you're supposed to understand is this: there is no way you can speak the language of savings if you do not understand how to manage your cash. Because, hey, and by the way, I understand. You see, there is something called the hierarchy of priorities. There are some people whom you cannot talk the language of savings if they are barely getting by, if they are barely surviving when it comes to even food. You see, it becomes very hard to fathom or contemplate things to do with savings if you're struggling with food. And we usually have different classes of people. We have people who are the middle or are the lowest level there. Those are the people who are actually complaining about the basic needs. Basic needs. See, if you're complaining about the basic needs, that the food, the shelter, and the clothing, at that particular point, I would say, think about on how you can actually stabilize yourself on these areas, so that at least you can be able to be stable mentally, so that at least you can focus on the next level of your life. Because at this particular level, you're caring about the basic needs. Basic needs. Now, after you've conquered these basic needs, you go to a level whereby you think about the personal development. Personal development. Now, at this particular level of the personal development is when maybe my videos make sense, and it makes a lot of sense. You ask yourself, okay, fine, I do have some few coins that I left behind that I can be able to invest. How do I go about it? Oh, wow, what are stocks? What are shares? What are index fund? Oh, by the way, I love to start a business. I would love to start up this business. How do I get started? What are the nitty-gritties? What factors should I consider before starting any given business? At this particular level of the personal development, you've conquered the basic needs. You can eat, you can drink. It's not an issue that is really affecting you as of now. Now you're thinking about, how can I take myself to the next level? Wow, I usually see people with cars. How does it take to buy a car in Kenya? Or what does it take to buy a car from whatever the country that you're watching from? Okay, is the method that I'm using using right now to invest the best way? Can it actually take me to the next level? So at this particular level is when you find that people are so much, aggressive. They are really trying the best that they can. They have their financial advisors. They are putting their house in orders. Some of them choose to be frugal, minimalist, and all those kind of things, so that at least they may achieve the next level. So the next level now is a situation whereby you find like, hey, guess what? You're not struggling with cash flow. You have a lot of cash flow, but the next level that you're joining is that it's a level that, hey, you need a combination of both cash flow as well as the asset, so that at least you move now from the making money now or growing money to the level whereby we say you're now protecting your cash, you're now securing your cash, you're now storing your cash. That is what you're supposed to understand as we progress to the next level. So this is the point, and this is what I'm going to leave with you as my parting shot. Okay, what I should say is this: at all the time, it's good to understand one thing. When we actually manage our cash, when we understand our expenses, and when we understand the difference between the two, so that we can take the difference, save it, and not just saving it. Don't leave this explanation to the saving point. We save it to accumulate it for the purposes of us investing that money. Be it that maybe you want to start a business, then there's nothing wrong with it. If you want to save, or if you want to invest in some investments or something of sort, then you go ahead and you can pick that investment and you move along with it. That is how we grow. That's how we expand our territories. That's how we expand ourselves, so that at least we may achieve that ultimate goal that we always yearn to achieve, that is called the financial freedom. Okay, now this is what I'm going to leave you with. Okay, now it's always good to make sure that you invest on the education, on savings, because I realize most of the people get affected by what we call the financial literacy. So if you suffer from the financial literacy, then that can actually be very detrimental to yourself. You find some, hey, guess what? You actually rush into and listen again. Don't rush into investment. I think I should give you this disclaimer. Don't rush into an investment. There is a video coming about why you should not invest in anything that you do not understand. Don't just invest on something just because people are investing on it. You've not even understood what you're getting yourself into. And then what is making you invest is that you're having something called the fear of the unknown, or the fear of missing out. So you're just rushing, grabbing whatever you can grab just because. You get what I'm saying? So don't rush. Don't be in a hurry to invest in things that you do not understand. First of all, invest on understanding what they are. The moment you invest on understanding what they are, now you can take a step and investment. For example, I say you can invest with an NMMF with as low as 100 bob. Just because you have the 100 bob does not qualify you to go and invest. First of all, understand what it is. What are you getting yourself into? What is an MMF? How do they function? When do they pay? How do they pay? Their credit score and all those kind of things. You need to understand everything as far as that investment method is concerned. Otherwise, if you just rush into investment just because people are doing so, you might get yourself in a situation whereby, and that's why I always tell people, listen, when you get money, compose yourself. Don't rush into making a decision. Don't rush into doing something. Compose yourself. And before you invest on something, ask yourself, is this the best option out there? Is it the best of the best of the best option that I have on the table? I repeat, once you get the cash, don't rush into doing something. Think and think and think. Look at the options that are on the table. Hey, I can be able to do this, I can do this, I can do this. Okay, fine. I have like 4 options on my table. Like, what is the best option? If I pick this one, what do I stand to gain? If I pick this one, what do I stand? Because I have met some people who saying, oh my goodness, I made a decision and I'm actually regretting right now. I feel like I should have done this. You get what I'm saying? It is good to take time before you make a decision as far as the finances are concerned or investments. Anyway, don't forget. Anyway, if you're watching this video today at the evening, 7:30 to 8:45, I'll be live and I'll be having a session whereby I'll be talking about all these investments in details, how to get started even if you're outside the country. Today, that is March of 10th. At 7:30 all the way to 8:45. You can join me. We're going to be having this session on Google Meet, and this session going to go for 2 days. The today is on 10th and the 11th of March, and the payment is only 2,500. That caters for everything for today and for tomorrow, for 2 days. All right, for now it's a goodbye. And if you want to get contact with me, my number is on the description of this specific video. Get that number, shoot me a call, or email is out there. Let's get started. For now it's a goodbye. See you there.